What up, everyone? I'm Joe Rivera, and I want to discuss with you today about how my life went from being emotionally, financially, and spiritually bankrupt. I mean, losing everything and almost losing my life to substance abuse. But by the grace of God, I was able to bounce back and create my comeback story. And it's important for me to explain this to y'all because there's somebody out there that might be struggling. You might be struggling with drugs and alcohol. You might be struggling with sex. You might be struggling with gambling. You might be struggling with building your business and your business getting destroyed. And you have to create it all back. You have to create a life that you want to create on your terms, but you don't know how to get started. You don't think it's possible. So this is important for the people out there who are looking to create their own comeback story. I'm about to take you back, man, to where I hit my rock bottom, where life went completely upside down and dark. I remember walking in the streets of New York City, calling the drug dealer, and he tells me to meet him at Penn Station in the middle of daylight. The insanity, going to buy drugs in the middle of New York City where there's all cops at Penn Station. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. I gotta get that high on. You know, that's what it was about. The first thing I wanted to do was wake up and go get high. Man, this just coming here alone just gives me the chills, man. I got the goosebumps thinking about it. Man, I got so many memories whenever I come down this escalator and come into this station, man. It just brings back so much. So much trauma in my life, so much catabolic, draining energy. Just coming down that escalator and remembering those times when I was living that lifestyle. It's not a way to live life, man. Damn, I haven't been here in years, man. They did this whole station over, man. There used to be a pizzeria right there. Man. This shit don't look nothing like what it was. Nothing at all. I remember meeting the dealer right here by the train tracks. I remember going right to him and in the middle of fucking Penn Station, daylight. All these fucking people. And I'm not giving a fuck. All I'm caring about is just getting that high on. I copped it right there. This is exactly where I bought it from. Come on. Damn, so this is exactly where I met the dealer. Man, this shit gives me the chills thinking about it, man. Copping right here in the middle of Penn Station. All these people not giving a fuck. The only thing I'm thinking about is how I'm gonna get high. That's all that mattered. I wasn't thinking about my kids. I wasn't thinking about risking my life. I wasn't thinking about the fact that there's cops and all these people at Penn Station. All that mattered was where I'm gonna get that next fix from. How am I gonna make sure that I feel right in that moment? Man, how fucking selfish is that, man? I remember coming from work and the first thing I want to do coming from Wall Street was not to go home and spend quality time with the people I love. Nah, I wanted to go and get high and live the life that I knew how to live. Man, what a selfish way of living. It's not a way to live life, man. I didn't even know what self-care was. I thought self-care was going out, getting drunk, spending time with myself, getting high. I had no other way of knowing what life looked like other than that. That's what I did for so many years. I didn't know what a transformation from that life even looked like. All I knew was get high, be selfish, make money. Money was the only higher power that I knew. Man, talk about fucking emotions running wild. This is the bathroom that I overdosed in. Last time I overdosed, cops found me on the fucking floor. I'm purple. I'm pretty much dead. It took 6 cans of Narcan to bring me back to life. 6 fucking cans of Narcan. That same night, I'm laying in the hospital bed. I wake up, I pulled the EKG electrodes off my body, leave the hospital against medical advice. And then when I get outside, it's the middle of winter. I'm in a hospital gown, shivering, looking like a crackhead like Pookie from New Jack City because of all the opiates that were being taken out of my system. And the first thing that I do, I go call the dealer again to go get high. Man. And a week or two later, my sister invited me for an event. At that event, I don't remember exactly what it was, but something clicked. I looked at my sister, she looked at me, and we both started crying. She knew exactly what I was gonna say. And then the words came out. The words my family was waiting to hear for over a decade. I said, man, I don't want to do this anymore, sis. I'm a shell of my true self. I'm tired of writing my obituary. I wanted to begin creating my legacy again. After that, I made the most important decision of my life, to go and achieve sobriety. I'm gonna show you where I went to achieve that sobriety. Man, as we're taking this ride to where the transformation occurred, out in upstate New York at St. Chris, man. I'm driving through this highway right now and passing through Harlem and Washington Heights, and man, I remember driving, taking the ride out here to just go cop, to go get drugs and get that fix, man. I remember passing through Harlem on 125th and Lenox in the middle of the night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, man, taking a ride out there to go get drugs and go get high. And I ain't got no business in fucking Harlem at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nothing good going on at that time, nothing but trouble. But I don't give a fuck. I'm taking that ride because that's all that matters to me, is getting that fix, man. And all the times going into Washington Heights to go see different women and getting high, and just, man, what a fucking rat race it was, man. Shit is just crazy to think about how I used to really live my life and the unmanageability that came along with it. You know, at one point I used to think it was fun. You know, it was fun until it wasn't fun anymore. It was fun until my life became unmanageable. It was fun until I was risking my life every single day. It was fun until I fucking overdosed and almost lost my life. How much fun does that sound like? That shit ain't fun. Shit is stupid. You know, and the audacity that I had to live my life like that when I had 2 amazing children to live for. I had a mother who cared about me. I had a family who loved me. But none of that shit mattered. None of it mattered. All that mattered was going out, partying, getting high, making money. Yeah, I loved my kids. Yeah, I loved my family. Yeah, I would have done anything for them. But it seems like in that moment, maybe I loved getting high even more. How fucked up is that to think about? That's so fucking selfish. Who the fuck wants to live like that? You know what I'm saying? That's just, it's not a way to live. So, and I always said, I was always that type of, like, I always did drugs and said, oh, as long as I'm not sticking a needle in my arm, I'm all right. You know what I mean? And it was such a backwards way of fucking thinking though. And I remember after my mom passed away, me and my moms were close, man. She was my best friend, my everything. And my life went dark and became completely unmanageable. I'm at the barber shop and I ran out of my pills, right? Because I started opiates with pills. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. You know, I didn't want to go up. I had the fear of I didn't know what life looked like without opiates. You know, I had a fear of going through the withdrawals, of not being able to perform at a high level. The craziness in my mind was I thought that the drugs were making me perform at a high level. I didn't know that I had that within me the whole time. I didn't know that I was the reason. I was giving the drugs the credit they didn't deserve. So I'm at the barbershop and fucking I'm fiended out. You know, I'm trying to fucking figure out how I'm gonna survive without fucking opiates. I had no way to get pills. All my dealers were out. Everybody was out of stock at the same fucking time. And I'm at the barbershop and I asked this dude, I'm like, yo, man, you know where I could get some Roxy's from? And he's like, nah, but, you know, I could get some dope. And I'm like, dope? I don't want to fucking do heroin. You know what I mean? I didn't put two and two together. He's like, bro, it's the same thing. It's just in powder form. So I'm fiended out. So I said, all right, fuck it, let's go. So we go. And that's the first time I ever did dope, but I sniffed it. A couple weeks passed by and I'm doing dope every day at this point. And we're in his car and I see him shoot up and I'm like, damn, that shit looks like, I want to know what the fuck that feels like. That's the craziness in my mind. All these years, I'm like, as long as I never shoot up, my life was that unmanageable. I didn't give a fuck that much that I'm like, fuck it. I want to know what that feels like. Because I was trying to block the pain from when I lost my mom. Still trying to fucking hide, you know, those feelings. I didn't want to feel those emotions. And I ended up shooting up for the first time in that moment. And it made everything go on a faster spiral out of control. And then next thing I know, I'm banging, sticking a needle in my arm every fucking day. I'm risking my life every single day that passes because I'm not just doing dope. I'm speedballing it with coke and dope at the same fucking time. The insanity. I'm raising my fucking heart rate and then dropping it fucking down. I'm asking for death. Did I want to die? Like in reality, was I like, oh, fuck it, I don't care about life, I want to die? No, I didn't want to die. I didn't want to leave my kids. I didn't want to leave my family. I always loved my family. But I wasn't thinking about, oh shit, I'm risking my life. I'm thinking that shit can't happen to me. As fucked up as that sounds, that's really what my way of thinking was. Fuck it, I'll get high. I'm numbing the pain. I'm not gonna die though. Thank God I did it, man, because shit, I could have just been another fucking statistic, man. I was risking my life every single day. And now today, man, I'm not risking my life, but I'm defying the odds every day because technically I'm not supposed to be here. Technically, when I went to this rehab we're going to, they told me, look to the left of you, look to the right of you. Only one of you is gonna survive. Oh, man, I'm so grateful that I'm that one person out of those three. I'm so grateful that I made the choice to go and get sober. That's why this place we're going to has always got a sacred place in my heart, man, because this place literally saved my life. Can't wait till you guys see the place, man, and show you where everything really went down, bro, man. So driving up this little road right here, man, I get like the opposite of what I got, you know, going down the escalator and, you know, that feeling of like, oh man, emotions running wild on like a negative vibe, to now it's like I get those butterflies in my stomach every time I come to this place, man, because this place literally changed my life, man. This is where it all happened. And every time I come down this little road, those little butterflies pop up. You know them butterflies you get when you're going out with this girl for the first time or this guy, and you get those butterflies, and you can't wait to see them. And man, that's how I feel every time I come to this place, man, because it's magical, and I just feel like gratitude, from coming here, man. I see this Graymore sign popping up, and we're about to pull in now, man, to St. Christopher's Inn. And man, it's magical, 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 man, this spot. This is real. Man, this is where the magic happened, man. This is it right here. This is where it all happened. Man, so I remember sitting in this chair, and I get here, it's 180 dudes.
That many, yeah?
And, there's no women, 180 men. I look at my sister, I say, sis, 180 guys, no chicks? Nah, I'm not staying here. And it's a long-term treatment. I thought it was 30 days. I come to find out it's a 90-day treatment. I said, sis, there's no way I'm doing this. And she's like, just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. I said, all right, you know what? I'll make you a deal. I'm going to stay for 30 days. After 30 days, I'm going home. She wanted to just shut me up. She's like, yeah, just stay for the 30 days. And man, I'm in admissions office. I'm completely mangled. I mean, remember, I just got high before I got there. And I'm nodding out. People are just betting against me, saying there's no way I'm gonna last more than 2 weeks. And I had a job in the kitchen. I'm gonna take y'all there. And man, I got a story to tell y'all. So stay tuned, we're gonna get to that. So then I get a job. Everybody had to get a job. Right, we all had to do something, whether it was working in the kitchen, working, mopping the floors, working in admissions. And where do they put Joe Rivera? The guy from Wall Street. Talk about being humble. My job was in the kitchen, not waiting on tables, none of that shit, not cleaning the tables. I had to go and wash dishes. So I went from working on Wall Street, making 7 figures a year, to washing dishes. Man, it was humbling. And let me show y'all the dish room real quick. And I got a story to tell y'all about the dish room, man. Let me show you where it all happened. So this is where I was working in the working as a dishwasher here. I had to either wash the dishes or dry them, dry up the spoons, the forks, the knives. And man, talk about nostalgic, man, the feeling I get when I'm in here. And I remember I got into one argument, and we had this lady who worked she ran the whole kitchen. Remember, mind you, she's running the kitchen with 180 dudes. And nobody understands how rough that job is, dealing with 180 dudes that are trying to recover from drugs and alcohol. They're in active addiction pretty much, because when you first get here, you're still all fucked up, And I remember getting into my first argument, and she's got to be tough on everybody. In the moment, you don't realize how hard her job is, but she's screaming at everybody, telling everybody what to do. And I'm like, who's this little lady telling me what to do? She's telling me that I got to get out of the kitchen. And she's screaming at me, telling me to leave. So I get in trouble the first time. I got to do community service. I get into another argument. a couple days later. And she's like, man, you don't listen. What did I tell you? I told you that you can't be arguing in my kitchen. Get out of here. And I'm saying to myself, oh shit, like I'm getting kicked out of the rehab. And as I'm walking out of the kitchen, I turn around and I ask her, and I say, Janet, if I gotta leave the kitchen, how am I supposed to eat? And she said, get out of here. And I had to go to this place that was called A&B, and it was attitude and behaviors. And man, at that place is where I started to learn that putting the drugs down, nah, that's the easy part. I had to learn to peel back the onion and take stock of who I was. I had to do that moral inventory, because in order to change who I was on the outside, that brokenness, I had to do the work on the inside. And I had to learn who I was. I had to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I apologize. I apologize for all that I put you through. I apologize for all the damage that I've done. I had to learn that I was a man worthy of love and respect. But you know what? I had to learn to love myself. Because if I didn't love myself and take care of myself, I couldn't love my kids. I couldn't love my family. I couldn't love the people around me. If I didn't take care of myself, I couldn't go take care of my business. If I didn't grow as a person, as a man, how am I going to grow my family? How am I going to grow my business? And that's when the magic happened, man. So that lady who kicked me out of the kitchen, who I was cursing out for the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, that lady was the turning point of my sobriety, of me getting sober. She was a big part of my transformation. And the respect that I have, not only for her dealing with 180 different men, but for her dealing with me and helping me change and sending me to go to that attitude and behaviors program. Because if she doesn't do that, guess what? I probably would have gotten kicked out, gone back out, gotten high, relapsed again, over and over, and it would have just been a vicious cycle. So my gratitude today is through the roof for her kicking me out of the kitchen. And I speak to her regularly now. I keep in contact with her, and I let her know the amount of gratitude I have. So I want y'all to meet her for a minute, man, because this woman literally changed my life and was a big part of my transformation. Man, this is Janet. And Janet, I know that I've told you numerous times, but I don't get tired of telling you how grateful I am that you came into my life, how God placed you and worked through you to work with me to help me get sober. It was a huge turning point in my life, because it wasn't just kicking me out of the kitchen. It was the conversations afterwards also that was able to grow our relationship. And just, man, I went from literally cursing you out to loving you as a human being and who you are, and for just everything that you do around this place. I mean, you are just incredible, and I love you for that.
Well, one of the most important things about this place is, Joe, it changes you without your permission. And, you know, you were just ready. Yeah. You were ready to hear it. You were ready to do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love that you're doing this, so this can help others.
Yeah. And
I hope they get to see that transformation is in their lives if they are willing.
Yes. You have to be willing and able. You gotta. If you're not ready, you can't do it. Yeah, everybody could try to help you around you, right? There could be a million people trying to say, you got to go get help. You got to do this. You got to do that. But guess what? If you're not ready to make a change from within, it's never going to happen.
I know. And that's why something like this, well, maybe can reach out to somebody who's hiding behind a rock somewhere saying, no, I can't do that. But hearing your story and how the transformation came inside of you in a simple way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, you got to get hit in the head with a brick, you know, so.
You hit me in the head with that brick.
Recovery's got to be all in. So is it about a knife, fork, spoon, a cup, and a glass? No. It's about your recovery.
Right.
It's about making sure there are no spots on the silverware. It's about showing up on time, being respectful, doing the right thing. That's what the whole thing is about, and that's what you bring into your life in recovery.
Yeah.
If you don't bring that into your life in recovery,
Absolutely.
you're not getting it. You
Absolutely.
know? So it's those little things, as dumb as they might be, you know. I mean, you could sit here and blame me as being a stupid old lady, a crazy old lady, whatever, because I am all of the above. But the bottom line is that you're doing a job for yourself. You're doing a job that at the end of the day, when you walk out of here, you can respect what you've done.
Yeah, it teaches us a new way of life, man. It's a new way of living because we didn't know how to live before that. I had no idea how to live life. You know, I didn't know how to be responsible for my actions. You know, I didn't know how to wait and be patient for you know, because that king baby syndrome. I want what I want when I want it. You know, and this place taught me how to be patient, how to be able to, you know, hold myself accountable.
And that's important.
Yeah, of course, it's huge.
If you can't look at yourself at the end of the day and see the things that I could have did a little bit better, then how do you make tomorrow a little bit better?
You can't, right? And also it taught me how to stay present in today, right? And focus on, you know what? Let me be the best version of myself I could be today. And also, man, I mean, we're talking about how you wanted the spoons and everything spotless and all that, and you moving things around, and the perfectionist behind it. But what I really learned through this journey, and it started here, was, man, I don't have to be perfect. I could learn to progress every day and take those small steps towards the big goal, right? And man, this thing of sobriety and this journey has taught me that, you know, because I remember going out and getting high every day. So I have to learn to stay sober every day. I have to learn to be the best version of myself every day. I have to keep practicing at it, because repetition is the mother of skill. It's not going to happen in one day. It happens over the long term, over time. And man, it's such a beautiful blessing to be able to live like that and not be on that fast pace, always in a rush, always trying to you know, be better than the next person, or you know, just learning that I'm okay with who I am today.
Liking yourself today.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You can put your head on a pillow at night and say, I like who I am today.
Yes. Man, so I remember coming into this place and I was spiritually bankrupt. I was born and raised Catholic, but along the way, I completely lost my way. I didn't even know what a relationship with God was. I thought it was saying Our Father, Hail Mary, and asking for forgiveness when necessary. And when I got to this place, I was so broken. I was lost. I was emotionally bankrupt. And I was a shell of who I truly was. And I remember a weekend, you know, after like the drugs were like wearing off, because you know, the first few days I was, you know, out of it. But I remember when I found this little chapel, and before we used to have to go down for breakfast, because at this place is where I also learned that, you know, I didn't have to be a loser and sleep till 11 o'clock. They didn't allow us to, you know, so we were up early. And I would come down here in this chapel before breakfast. And I would learn to just sit with myself And I started to learn the difference between religion and spirituality. And I learned to be able to build a relationship with God, where today He's my father, my mother, my uncle, my best friend, my everything. And I learned one day at a time, building the relationship like I did with my mom, like I did with my children, like I did with my brothers, like I do with my best friends. You know, I learned to build a relationship by having a normal conversation and talking to God, you know, as if He was right here. And listen, whether you call it God, the universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you believe, building that relationship on that level is what helped me unlock my fullest potential. And there's no doubt in my mind, if I could do it, it could help you unlock your fullest potential. And it just starts with the common everyday conversation. You know, I learned that God wants me to communicate with Him, not just like I do with others, more than I do with others. And include Him in my everyday process. And now there's not a day that goes by today, you know, where I'm not conversing with God, where I'm not having, you know, there's times where I'm in the car, and thank God for Bluetooth, because people think I'm crazy talking to myself because I'm having conversations with God. But that all started here. It all started with me learning how to really communicate and being able to sit with myself. So you know what was the most important piece? Because we're learning to sit with myself in this chapel, is when I started to learn how God could communicate back. If you sit with yourself and you pay attention, it's so vital to your success to have that spiritual growth in your life. Man, this place changed my life, man. There's so much gratitude within me for the change that occurred, and it all began here. Because I could have gone to any other rehab, but I ended up here. And you know what? I remember, like, before I ended up coming to St. Chris, I ended up almost going to another place, and they had a bed ready for me. But then I found out that someone overdosed at that rehab. Like, that's the first rehab that somebody overdosed at. That happens all the time. But my mind was like, nah, you know what? You're not ready yet. It's not time to go. But that happened for a reason. That wasn't a coincidence. That was a God incident. Because what ended up happening was I ended up here on this mountain, on this place that will always be special and dear to my heart, man. So if you walk over here, you'll see this rock. It's the famous rock here. And if you look at it from the side, you could see it's shaped like Jesus's face. And the most bugged out thing is, it wasn't sculptured like that. That's how it was. I mean, so in this area, they used a lot of dynamite back in the day. And that's the result that came up. Is a rock that's shaped like Jesus' face. Now, that's what I mean. Like, when you come to this place, the spiritual presence is just, it's so obvious and undeniable. I mean, you feel it when you're here and spending the time here. And everybody that I know that comes here for retreats, because they do all that here, everybody feels that spiritual presence. And because, I mean, you can't ignore it. Even if you try to, you're not going to ignore it. He won't let you ignore it.
So
2014.
these are all the guys who have left that we know of, who have left and died.
Wow.
So what we do is we put a brick, we put the track they were in, and of course the year and the month that they died. So this whole side here, like these are donations, people. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this side here is all Brother Christopher's.
Yeah.
So.
Man, that could have easily been me. You know, I could have easily been a statistic on this wall and not have made it. I mean, it's so easy to go that route. You know, I thank God every day that, you know, I wake up in the morning and rather than going and getting high, I'm defying the odds. You know, I'm one of God's miracles.
Amen.
Man,
Amen.
what a blessing that is, man. That's a gift in itself, you know? It's so easy to be like, you know, not being aware of like the small things in life, you know, but leaning back to things like that, I'm like, man, how dare I be ungrateful for anything after all that he did to save my life? Because this is a perfect example of, you know, keeping it green and keeping it in front of me, being able to see this wall and realize that, man, I'm thankful to be alive today. I'm thankful to be able to say that I'm sober.
Amen.
Man, so this is a chapel we used to come to when Janet used to do her spiritual walks. Man, those spiritual walks, man, they were incredible. Come through, let me show you the chapel real quick. So, I mean, this isn't about a religion thing, man, because I mean, it's more about the spirituality behind it, right? And, you know, coming to a place like this, to being able to collect your thoughts, to be able to sit with yourself, is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? They got a St. Francis with the death mask, and there's only two in the world. You know, one is in Italy, and the other one's here. And I mean, that's awesome, you know? And like I said, man, there were so many people who came into this place, into this rehab, where they were spiritually bankrupt, where there's people that came in here that were atheists, that didn't believe in anything. And when they leave here, they leave with that spiritual relationship. They leave understanding the difference between religion and spirituality. They leave here being able to have that spiritual component in place. And man, that's such a blessing. I was so blessed to be able to learn to build that spiritual relationship, because that's what keeps me going today. That's what I lean back. When people ask me, man, what's your biggest core value? What's the one thing that you know that helped you create your success? There's not even a thought that goes through my mind. It's the spiritual component. That's the biggest tool that I've been able to use for my success. And again, nothing to do with religion. You know, it's about building that relationship with something that you know is greater than yourself, that's going to help you unlock your fullest potential. Whether you call it God, the universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you believe, latch on to that belief and understand that you don't got to do it by yourself. Understand that there's something greater than yourself that you could lean into in your darkest times, that you could lean into that's going to help you take your life to the next level, that you could lean into that's going to help you take your business to the next level. Come on, man. It's time to unlock your fullest potential. Let's go on this journey together.
If you look beyond what the story is, you get to see so much more.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, when they hear your story, even if they don't really hear it then, you know, at some point they'll go, wow, you know what, I remember Joe said, you know, this guy Joe. I mean, they don't even, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, when people go, that old lady Janet, you know, whatever, you know. I mean, that's what it is. It's getting it out there so people can hear it, you know. Yell it from the top of the mountain, scream
That's it. That's it.
you know. And by doing this and having this, you know how good I am on the internet, forget about it. But, you know, people who know what they're doing can get so much out of this, so much. And, you know.
That's what it's about. That's the gift that keeps on giving. That's the whole point of doing it, you know?
Exactly right. Just keep giving it away. Somebody. You know what? If only one person hears it, that's what it was supposed to be.
I'll tell you,
that one person's supposed to hear it.
Yeah. And for years, I was going around chasing this high and chasing like a feeling. And man, let me tell you, there's no drug, no alcohol will ever give me that euphoric feeling that I get when I'm able to empower someone to transform their life. I mean, that right there is the gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely.
That's why I was able to find purpose. You know?
That's what it's about. See? Learning that, Joe. That's it.
That's it.
You know?
You're the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm about to go inside, get my grub on, get some Italian food. Today was leg day, so I'm about to get it in. But man, I just wanted to tell y'all that today was real special for me, man, because that place really, I hold dear to my heart, man. And, you know, that transformation in my life meant everything for me. And it still means everything for me today. And the whole point of this is so that y'all can realize that you can have that transformation too. You don't gotta go on this journey alone. You don't gotta create your comeback all by yourself. I can help you go through that journey. So don't forget though, man, share, like, subscribe, and man, again, I can't express how important it is to share it, man, because there's somebody out there that's struggling today that doesn't know how to make their comeback. And this could help them make their comeback. And if you don't share it with them, they might never see those tools that they could get to be able to make their comeback. Stay productive, stay profitable, and stay blessed, y'all.